Hi, we're back with another video. If you remember last time, I was telling you about how we powered the van and that we used the Bluetti AC 180. Really good power station. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. It just didn't have enough power for us, because I've got the air fryer oven, a fridge that we run 24 hours a day, the lights, the TV, the fire stick, the diesel heater. We charge up via a DC to DC charger. We've got the charger 1 and we've got the charger 2. But it just wasn't enough power, especially considering we're going to put an induction hob in fairly soon. And at the end of this year, all being well, we're going to the Arctic Circle. Well, not all being well, we're going by hook or by crook to the Arctic Circle. Now, I can only go by, same as you, can only go by the reviews of what we see on YouTube, the different power station websites, and then we've got to make our minds up what power station we're going to buy. And basically, a power station, if you don't know, or you just start to look at power stations, it's a big box of very expensive electricity. There's no two ways about it. I looked at the Bluetti, the EcoFlow, the Bluetti, they just seem to bring out a new one every week. They've all got the pros and they've all got the cons. It just depends what you want out of them. How many sockets you need, if you need USB, USB-C, continuous power, how many AC sockets you're going to need, like the 240 volts. And also, are they expandable? Some of these you can't expand, some you can expand, and you can expand them massively. But the boxes of electricity that you expand them with are even more expensive. And you end up paying fortunes. I looked at getting a battery system, the Fogstar and the Blue equipment, the Victron stuff. I'm not an electrical person. I didn't fancy paying somebody thousands of pounds to put a system in for me. When I wanted to change it, were it going to cost me thousands of pounds to change it all? Were these parts upgradable, or did I have to go out and buy new boxes to go onto them? New cables? What cable size do you use? And I've got to be honest, I just don't know. So I went for the power station. They've got a built-in inverter. You can plug your solar panels straight into them, so they've got the solar charger built in there. Depending on what you want to power, depends on the power station you get with the inverter size that's built in. Most things are going to be 2,500, 2,600 kilowatts at the most, but that sort of thing's going to kill the best of batteries really quickly. In the end, I went for this Aferiy. It's a middle ground. It's not the best and it's not the worst. It's a sweet spot right in between. It's got all the features that I want. It's got the power that I need and I'm likely to need. And it can be expanded. That's your main unit. This is a P280, 2 kilowatts of power. That's the expansion battery underneath it. I bought this as a set off Amazon. It worked out slightly cheaper than going direct to Aferiy for this piece of kit. And you also get an extended 7-year warranty. You can recharge these things I don't know, 3,000-4,000 times. So you're looking at 10 years or thereabouts of recharging time. And with a 7-year, what's that going to make me? That's going to make me like 69 by the time the warranty runs out on this. To be honest, within 7 years, I'll have probably upgraded again to something bigger, better, and easier to use. If I'm still here, touch wood, I am. It charges up in the house from. This came with about 27% charge on it. It took just over 2 hours to charge both units up to 100%. The charging time is meant to be an hour or so on a DC to DC charger if you're starting off about 50%. So basically, when you're moving from park up to park up, you're going to get enough charging. It's going to last me, I worked out running the lights, the TV, the fridge for 24 hours, the diesel heater for 8 hours a day, the air fryer to do a couple of meals on. It's going to last me 2 and a bit days if I never move. If I stick a 200 watt solar panel on the roof and it's sunny, or somewhere where there's some sun, probably not Scotland, that's for sure. It could be indefinite power. If I drive for an hour or so, also it's going to be indefinite power. It's got enough for what I need at the moment. It's 4 kilowatts. It's a big chunky cable, as you can see, to join these 2 units together. And if you expand and you get more of these bottom batteries, you just daisy chain them together. You can expand this up to 11.5 kilowatts. That's enough for anybody. And also, it's not just going to be for the camper van. If we have a power cut at home, this will run my TV. It'll run the kettle. It'll run, and my TV's a 65-inch flat screen. So I tested it on that last night and that worked a treat. It'll run me internet router, some lights. It'll keep things going. Basic will this. On the front you've got some USB sockets. You've also got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the USB-C sockets. 20 watts direct power. 140 if you've got a flashy phone that'll charge fairly fast. You're going to be able to charge your phone in 15 minutes off these. You've got your 12 volt, if I can get it up, 12 volt socket that only puts out 10 amps. That was the problem that I was seeing with a lot of these other power stations. These only put out 10 amps. If you wanted more than 10 amps, there were a few choices out there. If you wanted to go with the Bluetti and get a big power station, you then had to go buy an add-on, which the D1, I think it worked out at £600 just to get the sockets that you needed. So not only did you lay out a fortune for the Bluetti, you also paid out a fortune for the add-on, so you can plug in what you needed to plug in. Down here, these are well covered. It's got a 12 volt 25 amp socket, so you can wire this up and plug your diesel heat straight into there. On the side you've got 2 inputs for solar power, which is really good, so you can have 2 separate solar power systems going straight into the side of this. You've got a light if you're really with an SOS and a flicker. I'm going to put this in the back underneath in the garage space underneath the bed, and then I'll wire it all through to a switch panel. out the front so I can turn everything on. Let me just show you this really quickly, if I can get it out. This is the air fryer that I use. It's 1400 watt air fryer. It'll go up to 200 degrees. It's got a timer on it. It comes with your trays and your racks, and you put your chips in and things like this. I've used this a few times with the Bluetti, and it worked an absolute treat. You're not using 1400 watts all the time. You're using 1400 watts. It'll get it up to temperature. It'll then knock off the heating elements. So it'll drop down to 100, 150 watts of power that it's using. As this cools down, it'll kick back in. So it don't use as much power as you're thinking. If I plug this into the side, so as I was saying, it'll power on, it'll use 1400 watts. It'll then get up to temperature, it'll go down again. Most things you're going to cook about 180, your chips and things like that. So if I just put it on, it kicks in, and you can see it goes up to 1069 watts on there. And that's about all it's using, is 1069. I use this if I want to slice the toast in the morning. It'll make toast. If Suzanne wants a pancake, she buys these pancakes from Tesco's and bang them in there for literally 3 minutes. It makes them nice and toasty for you cook your ready meals in there, bang your oven chips in. Literally, it's just like an air fryer, except you're not reaching down and in. I'll give you a full review of this in a couple of videos time. But it's powerful enough to run that. This has been switched on for a couple of hours, so that's why it's gone down 1%. It's been on for a few hours already, running the lights in the van when I've been doing a couple of jobs. But this, all in all, were £1,302, which, to be honest, for 4 kilowatts of power, all the sockets that you're ever going to need, 2 solar charger inputs, a 7-year warranty. I think it's a bargain, to be quite honest. As I said, it's not the best you can buy. It's also not the worst one you can buy. It's that sort of sweet spot, right bang in between both of them. It's going to do the job. It's going to do the job well, is this. It's also got an app, because I'm going to be putting this at the back underneath the bed in the garage space. I'm going to want to control it with an app. I'll be able to see on the app how much power there is. I'll be able to turn on, turn off the AC, the DC. I'll be able to wire through on these to all the USB sockets I'm going to need for charging my phone, charging the iPad and things like that. It's got enough kick in it to run the induction hob, the fridge 24 hours a day, the air fryer. It's going to be able to run all the lights, and I ain't going to have to worry, because in the past that's what I have done. I've worried something terrible. Will I have enough power for the morning? Making breakfast before we start driving, or am I going to have to start driving to get some charge back in there? With this, I'm not going to worry. And as I say, these batteries, these are 2 kilowatt batteries. I've seen these batteries on sale for as low as £599, and so literally for £599 you can add another 2 kilowatt of power on there. More than likely I will be adding another 2 or even 4 kilowatts of power onto this, because when we do the active trip I want to be double sure that it's going to have enough power. They'll output power up just like all the rest of the Bluetti, etc., up to well, down to -20. You'll be able to suck power from these, and up to +40 degrees you'll be able to suck power from these before the internal kit sort of kicks them up. The only problem all of these chargers have, just like all lithium batteries, once it gets to 0 degrees, they're not going to take a charge. So what I'm going to do for the back in the garage space is I've got some of these, the pipe heaters, yeah. Now they're electrical, so this is going to have to power them, or I'll use the Bluetti that I've still got, and I'm not getting rid of the AC 180. I'm going to keep that because, as I say, it's a damn good power station. And I'm going to run these bar heaters because even when we're going out and about in Scotland in the winter, you go up to the Cairngorms, you're quite easily going to be dropping down to -10. And even inside of the van, you leave a bottle of water on the floor, nice and toasty, but the floor, that water's going to freeze. If the water freezes in a bottle on the floor, these ain't going to take a charge. That's the problem that you're going to have with them. So you're going to have to either direct your dieselator warmth into the back, or some other form, heating pads, things like that. I've got a couple of these bar heaters. They're like the oil-filled radiator type things. And I'm just going to screw one of them behind these units, and when I know it's going to be dropping cold, I'll just plug that in and get the temperature up in there. If you've got any questions about this Aferiy P280 with their expansion battery, just pop it down in the comments. I've literally I've not had it long. I've only had it a week, I'll be honest. But I've started putting it through its paces. I plugged in everything in the house to this. Tell a lie. I haven't plugged the washing machine into this. But I've plugged fridges, freezers, kettles, 65-inch flat screen TVs, and I've had a few of them plugged in all at the same time and running, and it's handled everything that I've thrown at it. I've not found a problem with it yet. If you go into some of the like Facebook groups and that, you'll see a few people moaning about this one, that one, but it doesn't matter which power station you look at. You never get people coming on there and saying how wonderful these things are. You only get them coming on saying, oh, I've got this problem, I've got that problem, this don't work, that don't work. They never come on and say when it's really working for them. Well, I've got a feeling this is going to really work for me. We're going to find out this summer. The van's got to go back into the garage again. The DPF is the bane of my life. I had it cleaned. That cost a fortune. It worked a treat. The engine warning light came back on. We put the ODB onto it. It threw up a load of DPF sensor errors. I've not got a clue about any of these DPF sensors. the earliest I could get it into a decent garage that does know about DPF sensors is the 11th of May. So another few weeks yet before we can get it in there. They've said it's a relatively cost-effective job. Cost-effective job. I've never done a garage yet to be cost-effective, I'll be honest. But we'll find out if I need a second, third or fifth mortgage. Who knows? But as I say, leave a like. Please subscribe if you can. Let me get this DPF fixed, and then we're definitely going to be back out on the road. And we're going to be taking you with us. Me, Suzanne Milo. Quick update on Suzanne.